Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're in the kitchen today, and today we are going to make little hash brown quail nests. So we're going to make little nests that have quail eggs inside them. They're delicious and they're a lot of fun to make. So if you have excess quail eggs, give it a shot. So we need to start with a few potatoes. We have 3 russet potatoes here of average size. They don't need to be huge, they don't need to be tiny, average size potatoes. And the first thing we need to do is grate them. There we go. They're grated. It was faster doing it that way rather than having you watch me grate the potatoes. That wouldn't have been any fun for anyone. So now we need a few more ingredients so that we can actually make our nests. We're going to start with 1 chicken egg. As an alternative, if you want to use up more quail eggs, you could do 3 or 4 quail eggs. So 1 chicken egg. We're going to need some Parmesan cheese. This will make them taste excellent. You're probably going to want about half a cup or so. You are going to want some oregano. Now I'm using dried oregano, if I can open the package. I'm using dried oregano, and you can do this to taste. So I would say about half a teaspoon, but if you like more, you can add more, no big deal. The next ingredient is going to be some parsley. Again, it is dried parsley. It's just easier for this recipe. So some dried parsley, again, you're looking at about half a teaspoon, but if you really like parsley, you can add more. And then we are going to want some pepper. So you're probably looking at between 1/4 and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, depending on how much pepper you like. If you really like pepper, go a little more. And then we're going to need some salt. I'm doing about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now I am using Himalayan salt, but you can of course use sea salt or table salt or kosher salt or really whatever you have in the cupboard. But about 1/2 teaspoon of that. So then we're going to take our wooden spoon and we're just going to mix everything up. Make sure you break up that egg yolk because sometimes egg yolks don't really want to break up. And if you have any chunks of Parmesan cheese, give that a mix. Okay. So mix that up really well till things are pretty well combined. So you don't want to see like a big chunk of egg over here and none over there. So you just want to make sure you're really well combined because this is important. You want everything to be as evenly distributed as possible. So scrape down your sides. There we go. That's looking better. Okay, you now have your hash brown mix. Now what we're going to need, you can use, I am using my hamburger bun molds for this, but you can use ramekins or anything that's small like this, so about hamburger bun size. And I'm just going to give it a quick spritz with a canola oil cooking spray just so nothing sticks. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to divide this as evenly as possible into 7 or 8. Now I'm doing 7 just because that's what I have. But 7 or 8 bundles of hash brown. Okay, you need to stick these in a nice little round container. So whatever container you're using, you do want it to be round. A shape won't work very well. So just divide it up into either 7 or 8. You could do slightly larger and do 6 if you really wanted to. That would be fine. You could also splatter potato everywhere. That would also be fine. We'll just be smarter about this and just dump a bunch. So just divide it as evenly as you can into between 6 or 8 and 8 nests, depending on how many nests you want and how many molds you want. That is not evenly divided at all, but that's okay because we will just redistribute. We will just steal some from over here, steal a little bit from over here, steal a little bit from over here, pick up the stuff we just splattered everywhere. So once you have it mostly evenly distributed, you're going to want to press it down and then kind of make a well. So you don't want to go all the way through to the bottom. What you want to do is just kind of push it down, but you want it kind of concave like a little nest. Your eggs are going to go in here eventually, and so what you want to do is make sure there's room for your eggs to sit. Okay, so just kind of push up the sides. Nice solid bottom so your eggs don't leak through. And you're not going to put your eggs in yet. Your quail eggs are not going in here yet, but they will. They will go in here later. They will go in here later. So you just give it a press. Make it look like a nest. It's okay if pieces kind of stick up. I mean, it's a nest. It doesn't have to look perfect. You just need a solid base. So give that a press up the sides. And then you're going to bake these nests before you add any of the egg or anything. We want to cook the potato in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the oven, and we are going to bake this for about half an hour at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or until the edges are kind of crispy and brown. You do want the hash browns to be thoroughly cooked. So pop it in the oven. Make sure your hash browns are thoroughly cooked before you take them out of the oven. Probably only take 30 minutes, might take 45. We'll be back as soon as they're cooked. All right, our hash browns have been baking for just over 30 minutes. They are nicely browned around the edges. Now it is time to add our eggs. So there's a couple of things you can do. The first thing I'm going to do is just take eggs and put them directly in, so crack this one. Take eggs and just dump them directly in like so. Okay? Just directly in. Take another one. So this is one way you can do it, and these look really, really cute. There we go. 2. One more. So we do 3 in each cup. So, by the way, I'm using quail egg scissors. Yeah, people should use quail egg scissors to open quail eggs. You really should. It's just, you know, a thing. That way your yolks don't break. There we go. So you can do that. You can kind of shuffle the yolks around just a little bit, but I'm not going to bother too much. The other thing you can do, take your 3 quail eggs and scramble them, if that's what you prefer. Okay, so we're going to scramble some. Depending on how you like your eggs, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to take our scrambled ones and pour them into a dish. There we go. There we are. Now I'm going to fill the other ones off camera, so I'll just do the rest and you can see what else I do. So I'm going to take some salt, just a sprinkle of salt on the eggs. All types of eggs can benefit from some salt. A little bit of pepper. Little bit of cheese on the top, just a little sprinkling of cheese. Here's where you can add some other things, like if you liked bacon bits or whatever, you could definitely do that. So add in some cheese. And then just a finishing touch, I'm just going to add a little pinch of chives on top. There we go. Now I'm going to finish filling the other ones off camera, but what you can do is you can fill them to your heart's content. Maybe you want to do bacon bits, maybe you want to do a different herb, maybe you don't like cheese, you can leave the cheese off. So just do it however you like. And I used just a farmer's cheese, but you can use whatever you have or leave it out entirely. So I'll finish filling these off camera, and then we're going to put them back in the oven. Again, the oven is still at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to bake them for 5 to 10 minutes or until the eggs are as cooked as you would like them, because everyone likes their eggs cooked a little bit different. So my kids like their eggs cooked more, so I'm going to bake these a little longer than I otherwise would. So I'm going to bake for almost 10 minutes, whereas I would bake them for 5 minutes if people like their eggs a little runnier. But it's a judgment call. 5 to 10 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll come back as soon as they're done. And there we have it. Very adorable hash brown quail egg nests. These are a lot of fun to make, a lot of fun to eat. They make a great breakfast, a great snack. Remember to bake them as long as you want. Some people like their eggs more cooked, especially if you're doing the scramble ones. Even though I said 5 to 10 minutes, which is an excellent amount of time, you might want to leave them for 15 or 20 if you do like your eggs a little more solid than perhaps some other people do. So it's really up to preference the second time they go in the oven. Just leave them till the eggs are as cooked as you like. That's about it for us here tonight at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.